Good morning. So we are going to continue the Bhagavad Gita. We had finished a couple of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas activities connected to duties and so on and so forth. So today the last we did was the joy, and prior to that was perseverance. So today we are going to do about duties of different people. Alright, so let us begin. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 40. There is no being on earth or in Akasha or even among the gods or anywhere else who is free from these three gunas born of Prakriti. This is a profound statement because our understanding is that the gods themselves can be bereft of these gunas. They don't need to have the gunas. Actually, the fact is that anybody who is born, anybody who is created, has to fall under these gunas, come whatever may. So, the Prakriti's creation, whatever the Prakriti's creation can be, it could be an animal, a bird, can be a human being, it can be a god, it can be anything. They all fall under the different set of gunas. So there is no being on earth or in Akasha or even among the gods or anywhere else. So you can think of any place. You can think in outer space also, doesn't matter. Or you can think even deep under the sea. There are places which are below the earth's surface also. Even there if you have to go, or even into the vast skies. Everybody is driven by these three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. You may say that, oh, this person is so sattvic in life. They cannot be 100% sattva or 100% rajas or 100% tamas in a person. There has to be a certain amount of the other as well. So whatever is predominant, that is one, and there are other things which are going to be in a smaller quantity, but it is going to be there. So nobody is free. According to Krishna, nobody is free from these taintings of the three gunas. Alright? So if I have to take the gods also, so there are three gods which are principal gods. We call them Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So these three gods fall under three categories. So Brahmaji comes under Rajas, Vishnu comes under Sattva and Shiva comes under Tamas. So the three gunas are already divided. Likewise their wives and all the gods, the demigods that are connected with everything. Say Indradev would be full of Rajas. Likewise there are gods of different kinds. There are demons, there are Rakshasas, there are earthworms to small creatures, to big birds, animals, everything. Everything that is anywhere, they all come under these three gunas. So now let us try to understand how these gunas affect human beings. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 41. The duties of the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas as well as the Shudras has been assigned according to the innate modes of Prakriti, Arjuna. Now, if I have to If I have to take into consideration the four classes on earth, for your understanding, I will recap them again. The four classes according to all our scriptures are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Now they are not defined by what we actually see outside. Brahmanas are knowledgeable, they are the knowers of Brahma. Please remember this. They are the knowledgeable type, not the material worldly knowledge. This is the spiritual perfection. So, I want you to think, how many people are there in this world who are spiritually perfect? Hardly any. So, the number of Brahmanas on this planet Earth is down to absolutely rock bottom. There is nobody there. Those who come from a particular community in India, they say we are the Brahmanas. Sorry. Think about them. These Brahmanas who call themselves Brahmanas, or some who call themselves Shudras because they want to get certain kinds of benefits, and some people call themselves Kshatriyas because they want certain benefits, are all concocted by human beings. That is not the way how things are done. Whereas what is written in the Bhagavad Gita is valid. So Brahmanas are the knowers of Brahma, the perfect knowledge. Kshatriyas are the leaders among men, those who lead others. They have a whole load of people under them. They run organizations, companies, governments, you name it. They are the bosses. Then we come to Vaishyas, who are traders and those who run the money system, the financial world. And lastly, we have Shudras. Now, Shudras, according to our Indian methods, they're supposed to be lower class, but actually there is no such thing. They are the workers, those who work for somebody else. They are not the bosses. So these are the four classes. So Krishna says the duties of all these four have been assigned according to the innate modes of Prakriti. These four, their duties have been assigned according to the modes of Prakriti, that is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, depending on where they stand. So we are going to see how these qualities are. So let us find out. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 42. Subjugation of mind and senses. Enduring hardships for the discharge of one's sacred obligations. External and internal purity. Forgiving the faults of others. Straightness of the mind, senses and behavior. Belief in the Vedas and other scriptures. God and life after death, etc. Study and teaching of the Vedas and other scriptures, and realization of the truth relating to God. All these constitute the natural duties of a Brahmana. I want you to actually assess what he has said. And then let me know, can you think of one such person on this planet Earth? One. it is extremely difficult to find this kind of a person because people are driven by lust and greed and every other. Subjugation of the mind and senses. That's the first thing that he says. How many people have been able to subjugate their mind and senses? Even the highest amongst the people, I have seen them get upset and angry and totally fall down on the path. They are driven by different things. So mind and senses to be subjugated, it's a very tough thing. People say there are those who stay in the Himalayas, or those who have become ascetics, or those who have gone and staying somewhere. Now, even after that, you will find that these people are driven by their baser instincts. They are not clean and pure. Their minds are not subjugated at all. And senses, I doubt it. A person is not able to control his senses, whatever may be the case. The job of the eyes is to wander. The job of the ears is to hear. Likewise, people love to eat good food. So the subjugation of the senses seems a little difficult. Likewise, the subjugation of the mind is also very tough. Maybe hundreds of years ago, there might have been people who might have overcome. But in today's day and age, it is extremely tough and difficult to find even a single human being who can stand up to these words. Enduring hardship for the discharge of one's sacred obligations. The moment the word hardship comes, people immediately try to shy away from there. They don't want to do any hard work. They really don't want to put any efforts at all. People want everything on a platter. You will find that they will come up with various excuses not to do things. I am giving an example that people cannot stand up to these rules. Even as a matter of getting up in the morning and doing their daily ablutions, human beings do not even have that much capacity to do. They may be staying in an ashram or doing whatever, but yet it becomes very tough for them. And if they are doing it, then the rest of their day, they would be doing all kinds of other things. Maybe it's the need of the hour, that is why they do it. Otherwise, they will not do. It's very tough to find a person who can actually fall in this category. To really put in hard work, hardship for the benefit of others, I have not seen a person do that. Self-centeredness. If other people are suffering, the human beings don't care. Yes, in terms of this pandemic, people are going out to help, no doubt about it. But it is the pandemic, that is why. And aren't there many people who are basically interested in trying to gain and make money along the way? So, I doubt. So, enduring hardship for the discharge of one's sacred obligations. There are sacred obligations and a man has to discharge his duties. It's very tough again. External and internal purity. Now, external purity means of your body and senses and so on and so forth. They may have good bath, they may put up all the good stuff, maybe, send themselves up and spray themselves up on whatever. but their hearts are very dark. They are very black. A person may look nice, may dress nicely, but what is inside is full of darkness, full of evil. The words that escape from the mouth of this person, the person may be very good, may look nice also, but internal purity is extremely tough to find again. Now, a Brahmana needs to have external and internal purity. He should be doing his duties even if it is causing hardships to him. There's a story which I was reading of Gajanan Maharaj of Shegam. Now, one of his devotees was told by him one day after Gajanan Maharaj's death, he came. Now, when somebody like that comes, you really wonder whether it's the same person. So a person comes to this man's house and tells him, see, you have to take care of this temple of mine which has got built. You will find that there are your own people and associates who will be totally against you. But you stay on the path. You gather funds and you do what is necessary. Run this place nicely. People, those who are good-hearted, have to face a lot of difficulties. Their own people, their own relatives and friends will be opposing them constantly. And there are going to be so many hardships that come their way. It is not only known through the scriptures, but you can actually see this happening everywhere in the world. Whenever a person has to do something good, his own relatives, friends, and whoever that is there will oppose him. And that is the reason why this sentence is there. Hardship in the discharge of one's sacred obligations. A person who is a Brahmana has to endure, should have that perseverance, that dhriti, to overcome these obstructions which are going to come in the way. And believe me, these obstructions are too many. And a person should have internal and external purity. If you are the person who is going to take charge of a temple or a holy place, then you need to have set an example to the world. That means you yourself cannot have any faults. You should have internal and external purity. Whatever obligations that are there, they have to be followed to the T. Let us say you are in an ashram, you have to follow the rules of the ashram. You cannot say a day or 2 days, I am sick and I cannot get up, I have this problem, that is why I cannot do this. No, these are obstructions and they are going to come. It is your job and duty. It's a duty of a person. It's a sacred obligation. How many people can actually keep up this sacred obligation? You think these words are frivolous? No. You have to have the purity and you should be able to perform all your duties, even in the worst case scenario. There are going to be a lot of hardships which are going to come. Forgiving the faults of others. Everybody has a nature. Every other human being has a nature. They cannot circumvent and overcome their nature. Please understand. It is only those who are called the Brahmanas, the perfect beings on this planet Earth, who are able to forgive others, forgiving the faults of others. The person can do any wrong, it really doesn't matter. There is no problem whatsoever. Let that person come and slap you, say 100 things, do whatever that is there. Like I said in the previous things, there are going to be hardships in the discharge of sacred obligations. So people, things, objections are going to come. At that point in time, you have to forgive everyone, no exceptions whatsoever. Forgiving each and every one is important. You should have such a great heart. Forgiveness should flow. That is why Jesus, Buddha, and all are so great. You have to forgive. Do you think qualifying for becoming a Brahmana is easy? No. These are the qualities. Straightness of mind, senses, and behavior. Your behavior, your mind, and your senses have to be very straight. No hanky-panky. You can't be thinking some wrong stuff in your mind by passing through your senses. Let us say you overhear someone saying something, or a person calls you and gives you a rundown of what has happened somewhere else. You should not be swayed by what the other person speaks, because gossip mongers are going to be there. People love to gossip. They will keep on saying whatever that comes to their mind. Let them say. Let them say. You are hearing those words. Doesn't mean you have to contaminate your mind. So you need to have the purity of it. So here it is, there has to be a straightness of the mind, senses, and your behavior. You cannot misbehave. Now let us say you hear one friend of yours tell you that your brother is like this, he is doing like this, and you come to know about it. First and foremost, why is it that you are listening? It is not important to listen to all this. Second, why is your mind getting tainted? Your mind should never get tainted. That means you should never be judgmental. To be a Brahmana, you can never make a judgment. Don't make judgments. Because in this world, everything happens by the will of God. So then why are you judging others? Don't judge anybody. Right? And behavior. Now that you heard from your friend how your brother behaves, you are not supposed to behave badly with that person. On the contrary, you should have a straight behavior with that person, a very clean and a good behavior. Let the other person do what he wants. Let the other person speak what he wants or do, and anything can happen. Doesn't mean that you have to get disturbed. You have to be perfect. Very straightforward person. You cannot get disturbed. Belief in the Vedas and other scriptures. Now, it so happens that people normally don't tend to believe in the holy scriptures, because there are lots of things written which nobody understands. Most of the time when a person reads the scriptures, he believes that what is written over there literally he has to take. Actually, all the scriptures are a codex. Unless and until you have a decoder, that is your guru, who is going to decode those scriptures and give it to you, then only you can understand the scriptures. So never make judgments on the Vedas or any of these ancient scriptures, for a very simple reason. you don't understand. And a Brahmana is a person who has a firm belief in all the scriptures. So whatever is written in the scripture, the person believes in it. Got it? Then, study and teaching of the Vedas. You have to study. I tell each and every disciple of mine that you have to put in a couple of hours of study every single day. Scriptures and a little bit of material worldly stuff also, because you have to maybe understand how things are done. You cannot say, I don't know how to operate a bank account. You cannot say, I don't know how to operate an app. You cannot say, I don't know how to now order for goods on Amazon, because this is the need of the hour, isn't it? You can't say, I don't know how to order goods. You may be even a young person or an old person. Doesn't matter. It is your job and your duty. But on one side, you have to read and learn the scriptures as well. Got it? So read them, learn them, and teach them. Only Brahmanas, the knowers of Brahma, are allowed to teach the Vedas. Other people are not allowed because they don't have any knowledge about the subject. And that is why they have to stay away from those subjects. And realization of the truth relating to gods. Now, there are so many gods. This is the small g. So you should have a clear understanding of who is the capital God, G, and who is the small g. The demigods are different. They are functions. They operate in the world for Maya, for the purpose of this mother universe, nature. Prakriti has to do her job, and there are certain things that they have to perform. Like, say, for example, the money, wealth, education, construction, you name it. The whole infrastructure has to work properly. That is why these demigods are there. They handle different functionalities. In your body also there are demigods. These demigods handle different functions in the body. Some handle digestion, some handle evacuation, some handle seeing, some handle, assessment of the things, processing, so on and so forth. So there are demigods, and then there is only one God. You have to know realization of the truth about this God. That means only realized beings are Brahmanas. Krishna has very clearly mentioned over here. So now think about it. You have met so many so-called Brahmanas in this world. Does anybody qualify for this? Are they knowers of truth about God? Absolutely none of them. Because they are driven by their own lust, greed, and utter nonsensical stuff in this world. They are more Rajasik or Tamasic in nature. Sattva guna is non-existent in this kind of people. So all these constitute the natural duties of a Brahmana. So we have completed the natural duties of a Brahmana. I will just go through them once again. Subjugation of the mind and the senses, overcoming the mind and the senses, enduring hardships for the discharge of one's sacred obligation. Whatever the sacred obligation is there of this Brahmana, he has to discharge the duties. So if he is doing puja, part and all that, there may be time when he will not even have a grain of food. He should be able to overcome that. These hardships are going to come, 100% they will come. Then external and internal purity. Forgiving the faults of others. You have to be externally and internally pure. You have to forgive everybody's fault. No exceptions. Even if it is a Rakshasa or a demon or whoever, everybody has to be forgiven. A Brahmana forgives everyone. straightness of the mind, senses and behavior. A person should be absolutely straight. There should be no tainting anywhere. Belief in the Vedas and other scriptures, God and life after death, etc. I missed out telling you life after death. Many people don't believe in life after death. Some of these atheists, they think that there is no such thing as life after death. Some of the people from other religion also believe that. But let me correct you. If you are an atheist, or you may even become a Buddhist, Buddha himself said what happened to him in his previous lifetimes. You believe in the word of Siddhartha, Buddha, Gautam Buddha. That is the Shakyamuni. If you believe in the words of Gautam Buddha, then why is it that you are forgetting? He was born earlier than that as well. He had many lifetimes before. So he is talking of rebirths. Likewise, in other religions also, they may say that this is the only life. I am sorry, this is not the only life. It has been proved time and again when a person reincarnates as another person. That is why you say, oh, he behaves like my father, the child may behave like a father, and so on and so forth. You have heard this. That means reincarnation is something which we should not overlook. I missed telling you all this. Study and teaching of the Vedas and other scriptures and realization of the truth relating to God. So knowledge about the divine, becoming realized is a must for all Brahmanas. So now you decide how many people are there who can perform these natural duties of a Brahman. Alright, so now we will go to the next one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 43. Heroism, majesty, firmness, diligence, dauntlessness in battle, bestowing gifts, lordliness, all these constitute the natural duty of a Kshatriya. So now he has given the duties of a Kshatriya. Again, count yourself and ask, is there any person who can be called a Kshatriya? Heroism. A person should have the dynamism and the heroism in a person. He should be able to withstand any problem in this world. He should overcome all difficulties. He should be able to see through things. He should have leadership qualities. Can you think of somebody who fits into this category? A real hero? There's a mosquito which is continuously going here and there. Sorry. So heroism, majesty. Majesty is something which I have not seen anywhere, except in a lion. Some of the lions, they are very majestic creatures. But in human beings, I doubt it. Even the Avengers series doesn't have people who have majesty. And there are kings and queens in this planet Earth, supposedly kings and queens. They behave in an uncouth manner. They sell themselves to the radio stations and TV stations, and in front of audiences they say uncouth stuff. They keep on talking nonsense about their own family. I mean, think about it. Can you really consider them as majestic people? I doubt it. I doubt it. These people are running after money, power, fame, fortune, those kind of things. They want to become famous. And they do not even understand what it means to be majestic. Yes, I have seen certain people in this world who are truly majestic. Once upon a time, I had the chance to go to Nepal. And I was a guest in one of their places. And I saw the amount of good treatment that happened. This happened many, many years ago. Now Nepal doesn't have monarchy, but they used to be a monarchy earlier. And then I have seen even the Japanese, king and the queen, the way they behave. It's very nice to see them like that. But in today's day and age, I really have no clue whether anybody can be majestic. Firmness, a person should have firmness, dhriti, should be able to be very strong, able to withstand anything. Even if anybody does or says something, a person should be able to still be majestic. I can only think of Shivaji Maharaj in that category. I can't think of anybody else. Because in this yuga, it is very difficult to find this kind of a majestic person and who has so much of firmness, diligence, who can diligently perform his duties. It's very tough to find that. Dauntlessness in battles. Oh, the last battle that was there was the World War II. After that, there were all these small, small battles that happened, wars that happened. India, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, Korea and Vietnam and all that. Syria and all these Middle East wars that are there. But I can't call anybody who was dauntless in that. Bestowing gifts and lordliness. Oh, I don't know again how many people bestow gifts and show their lordliness. Yes, when I was born, I remember, means I must have been so small. My mother used to tell me that the place where I was born, I think they distributed more than 4,000, clothes and gifts to people after I was born. So there was so many staff and so many people. They had a lot of mines and stuff like that. So naturally, all that was gifted, I believe. So that kind of a lordliness today, it is very difficult to find. No Maharajas or Maharanis are there who will show this kind of lordliness. That went before I think once the democracy came into the picture, everything went out of the window. So all these are the natural duties of Kshatriya. Do you know any Kshatriya now? I really doubt if you know even one Kshatriya. So one Brahmana, extremely difficult to find. One Kshatriya, out of question. Nobody is there today. So these two classes do not actually exist. It is only there in the papers now. I can only dream about it. Now we go to the third one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 44. Agriculture, rearing of cows and honest trade of merchandise. These constitute the natural duty of a Vaishya. And service of the other class is a natural duty of a Shudra, a member of the labor class, they say. Now, these two classes 100% exist. Well, you can see for yourself. Agriculture, rearing of cows, honest trade and merchandise and so on and so forth. Of course, there are lots of people who are, farmers and so on and so forth. They are there in this world. They perform those actions and they are following their path diligently. I have personally seen really hardworking farmers and, people who run poultry farms and as well as the normal kind of farming and natural farming and so on and so forth. People are very serious now. There are two kinds of people that are there in this world now. One is the one who works outside. Second one who works in the fields and in factories and all that. So these two kinds of people are there. First one, like I said, he is working on the things in the air, like IT, computers and stuff like that. And in most of these other cases, like you find that farmers and all are there. So they have this natural duty of a Vaishya. They also handle finances. They are there in stockbroking and so on and so forth. So I hope you understand Vaishya means a trader also, a merchandiser, a grocer, you and so on and so forth. A milkman, you name it. You got it? A person who sells milk, a person who is doing transactions, money transactions. Alright, so these are the things which a Vaishya does. And now we come to the last one. A person who is called a Shudra. I can guarantee you this whole world is full of this. See, Krishna says service of other people. That means somebody who serves another person. That person is the natural duty of a Shudra. So, if I think about it, I guess 99% of these people, or maybe 80%, I don't know, would be counted as Shudra because they are serving somebody. To serve other people. If you are serving a bank, if you are serving an institution, if you are working for some company, you may be even a manager, you can be a small employee in a company, but are you serving someone? Yes. Are you serving the government? Yes. Are you serving all these bigger institutions? If that is the case, you may be even a driver or whoever. You could be even a owner of something. Doesn't matter. But if you are riding an auto rickshaw, you are serving the people. So whoever serves another person, that person who serves is called the Shudra. And these are the four classic definitions given by Sri Krishna. You decide for yourself which category you fall into and the people that you know. And please don't go by what is told to us in the news because people are out to literally say all the wrong stuff over there. All right? So now we go to the next verse. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 45. Keenly devoted to one's natural duty, man attains the highest perfection in the form of God realization. Here the modes of performance whereby the man engaged in this inborn duty reaches the highest consummation. Now this is something which we all have to do. The duties which come naturally to us, that's a part of our Swadharma. I told you very clearly there aren't any Brahmanas or Kshatriyas in this world. But you can qualify for one. Yes, the field is open for you to qualify to become a Brahmana. The field is open for one to become a Kshatriya also. Nobody says you can't do it. You are free. You can be a Vaishya also or you can be a Shudra also, doesn't matter. Most of us are Shudras because we serve other people. When I serve somebody else, I become a Shudra by nature. So, first and foremost, if I were to do my job diligently, then I am serving the purpose why I am here on this planet Earth. If I have a computer or if I have a cell phone, if I have a watch or if I have a camera, don't I want those things to perform whatever task that is there for them? A camera's job is to shoot, isn't it? Film or whatever could be. Maybe a video, maybe a still photograph or something. That is the job of a camera. But if the camera does some other job, I don't think I want it. Likewise, if I have a computer, I have to compute, I have to do certain tasks which are required. If I have a recorder, the recording machine is there. If I have a watch, the watch job is to tell time. Nowadays, the watch is also important for the purpose of my health and various other things that are there. So, all that is also to be taken into active consideration. Why do I have a wristwatch? for that purpose. Then I can come to a car. A car's job is to serve. Likewise, there are so many things in the world which are serving the purpose. A washing machine has its purpose of washing clothes. A mixer grinder has a purpose of mixing, grinding stuff. A hot plate or a gas stove is important for cooking. If everything has been given a specific job, including the lights, the bulbs, and this and that, and fans and whatnot, human beings have also been given a certain job. And that is the swadharma of that person. You have specific qualities. Find out your own qualities. Whenever a person comes to me, I tell them, do a SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. You should do that. Find out what is it that you are good at. You will come to your own understanding. I am good at this subject. And then pursue that subject and get knowledgeable in that subject and then do the job accordingly. So here, if you serve the purpose why your body has been given for, you have been given this body for certain purpose, isn't it? It's a vehicle, it's a tool. Use the tool, and when you perform the duties connected to the tool, which are inborn, there are duties inborn. So when you do this duty, you would have served the purpose and you can get realized because of this. It's a very profound statement. Sri Krishna has said this, keenly devoted to one's natural duty. Man attains the highest perfection in the form of God realization. This is not a petty statement. This is a very profound and a deep statement. Here is the easiest way of getting God realization. Performance of one's own natural duty. Now in that I have told you, you have to be a Brahmana. Subjugation of the mind, senses, enduring hardship. This entire paragraph is applicable to this. Just performing duties? No, you have to perform them perfectly. Discharge, enduring hardships. During the discharge of one's sacred obligations, whatever the sacred obligations connected to the body, you have to undergo terrible hardships. If you cannot, then you're not worthy of that particular position. Then God realization will never come to you. Out of question. You can never realize God if you have not worked your body very hard. It's like a chandan. Chandan means sandalwood. I have to rub the sandalwood very hard on that, they call that part or something like that. And I have to rub it so hard. And then I can get very fine, dust of it. Which I will then put it in the water. And that is the chandan that I use. Imagine this is what you have to do to your body. Your mind has to be pure. Straightness of the mind. Internal and external purity. Forgiving the faults of others. These are the things which go according to Sri Krishna along with this. If you really are doing your duty, the performance of your natural duty has to be to the highest perfection. You cannot have anything average or below average, no. You have to prove that you are the highest perfect being on the planet Earth. There can be no concessions whatsoever. Every time when one of my disciples will come and give me a concession and say, I'm sorry, I did this, I did that, can you excuse me because today I am like this. Somebody is coming up with various excuses. Guruji, can I go 10 days later? Guruji, can I do this? Guruji, can I do... Why are you all making concessions in life? If you make concessions, where is the highest perfection? Your job is to reach the highest perfection, isn't it? And why are you not even straining? Why are you not having this? When you have to do your sacred obligations, you have to go through hardships. You have to endure perseverance, dhriti, firmness of action. All these are qualities that go with highest perfection. And that is why Sri Krishna says that. Now, we are going to understand the inborn duties that reach to highest consummation. Alright, so we will do one more verse now. From whom, we are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 46. From whom all beings come into being, and by whom the whole universe is pervaded. By worshipping him through the performance of his own natural duties, man attains the highest perfection. While you are doing your duty, whatever duty that you have been given in this world, that duty has to be done in perfection. I have given you in the previous verse what kind of perfection is expected from you. While you are doing this duty, you have to have complete faith in the Lord. Worship him through the performance of one's natural duty. You are not doing this duty for yourself. All this duty that you are doing is for God. Like in the previous example I said, the car is serving you. The washing machine is serving you. The gas stove is serving you. The light bulb, the fan, everything. Is it not serving you? Your computer, your cell phone, your watch, your pair of glasses if you have. Now, all these, are they serving you very, very nicely? Yes. So while doing that, whatever task that you have come to do in this world, please understand you are serving someone. And that someone is God Almighty. It is not some ordinary person that you are serving. You are serving the highest Lord Sri Krishna himself. So if you are not going to show perfection in serving, then you have not done service unto the Lord. I am sorry. Please understand this. Service has to be the highest. If you are going to make concessions and if you are going to keep on saying, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, day after tomorrow, please remember, these are not ordinary sentences. I am telling you something which can take you right towards the highest perfection, towards realization. You are serving the Lord. And how? This Lord which is pervaded in this entire universe. That means you have to serve this whole creation first. See God in this creation first. That means, understand this, if there is a bulb, the bulb is not only serving you, but it is serving other people as well. Isn't the sun doing the same thing? The sun is serving everybody diligently. The moon is serving everybody diligently. The water, rivers and all that, are they not doing the job? So you should also do the job, not only for yourself, but for every other being on this planet Earth. And you are serving God's purpose on this planet. This is a very important thing. Don't forget. Otherwise, what is the point of having this life? See, if you are not going to serve others diligently, without making any distinction, that means you have to be totally detached while serving your purpose. You cannot be attached to things and people and stuff like that. No. You have to be completely dispassionate, you have to be detached, and you have to see God in everything. And you are serving that God, Krishna himself, as the entire world, and from whom all beings come into being, and from whom the whole universe is provided. By worshipping him through the performance of one's natural duties, man attains the highest perfection. It is when you serve and when you do your duties perfectly, you are then reaching the perfection, the highest perfection. God realization will be in the palm of your hand. All right? So, we will stop over here today. We have come till verse 46. Now, we are entering into a very, very critical stage of learning. So, follow me tomorrow and I will see you all. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.